Welcome to the Mac Show, everyone.
Before we start,
Okay, listen to him.
subscribe right there. This is Anita K.
Hello.
I'm MelodicMic. This episode, let's talk about something that's really important for all those who are dating. Who pays for the first date?
Not an easy question at all.
I already, the no-brainers, right? Everybody's going to say the same thing. Let's say it all together right now. The guy does, right? Everybody.
Hang on. We might have a few points.
So let's pull it back real quick.
I agree with him. No, just kidding.
For the most part.
Well, what are the trends? What are the trends and have they changed? Yes, historically and typically, the man traditionally pays for the first date. But I think this is changing.
Slowly.
And who's dictating the change? Is it women or is it men? I think it's both.
I think it's both.
I think it's both. And
Absolutely.
why? And why?
Because
what do you think?
it's the whole thing about women wanting to be more independent. And I think more guys are starting to think like, well, if you want to be more independent, then you can also pay for yourself. It's almost like going to a bar and now women are just paying for their own drinks. So they don't have to, one, worry about if they're going to get roofied, right? And then two, to show that, you know, they don't need a man to pay for things. But the caveat is when it comes to dinner, right? I think there's that expectation of courtship. Then there's that expectation that, you know what, the man's going to pay.
Sure. But we all got to manage our expectations.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
not assume. I think that also one of the reasons why historically and traditionally this has always been the case, I think a lot of it is how you grow up. Who did you model? What are you used to? And I think so. Some of it comes from that too.
Yeah, definitely
your
how you were brought up.
upbringing.
Your
Yeah,
upbringing,
definitely. But I think in this day and age, whoever makes the initiative, because females, we love to ask a man on the first date. I know I do. I have.
Which one of you actually will
Plenty.
do that? I want to know this.
I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you because I know they're out there.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it was a very liberating experience. And one time I got a yes, and one time I got a no.
Wow.
And I was okay with that.
Rejection.
I think it was really good for me though.
Oh, okay.
Putting yourself in other people's shoes, especially in the opposite sex, I think it's very healthy this day and age.
I agree. 100%.
But whoever makes the initiative, I think, should offer and pay for the first date.
You know what?
Whoever makes that initiative.
Part of me, as a man, I'm just going to say, as a man that wants to court a lady, my whole thing's this. I would love to take someone out, love to pay for dinner. Absolutely, because I initiated.
Very nice.
But here's the thing that I would, I guess it's just a common thing, not a common thing, but offering.
Yes.
I've had girls who I
Gestures.
did it. The gesture. It's all that we ask for. It's just the gesture.
Yeah.
Would you mind if I, not necessarily pay for the date. We know you're not going to pay for the date. I asked you out. But the fact of like, hey, let me get tip. Or you know what? I'll grab dessert. We'll go get dessert somewhere. I think that's such a sweet note. No.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think keeping an open mind about sharing all of the experience of the first date. So thank you for taking me out. I had a great time. By the way, hint, hint, I'm
Right.
showing a sign of interest and I want to keep the date going. Would you like to go for coffee after? My treat. Or, hey, let's pay 50-50. We're just getting to know each other and I really like to see you again. So some of the rules can bend a little bit.
A little bit.
And I think it's fun to challenge yourself, and, in that respect, in that regard, and you really know who you're dealing with when you do that.
But at the end of the day, I think, it's just getting to know the person. If you're so fixated on the fact of the money, who's going to pay for what, this, that,
You're going to lose.
You're going to lose.
You're going to lose,
That's
and you're
it.
not going to keep the eye on where you really need to keep it. Let's be honest, so many judgments, expectations are
geez.
transpiring before you meet, those few dialogues of conversations, and then when you first meet. And as women, I know I'm guilty of it, we start making, oh, wow, I'm impressed. And I start making the wedding invitations in my head. It's true, I've been guilty of that, but I've matured.
Exit stage left.
I've matured since then. That's what I wanted to say. And as a result,
She's honest.
I think it's very healthy to take your time, and especially I try, unless it's a complete disaster or there's a safety issue or something along that line really important, I try not to make my impression or my final decision until the first date is over. I think that's really important too. Yeah,
Save
because
it.
there's been a million times where I said I've met the person on the date. Okay, no, no comment within my heart or my mind. But man, after 2 hours over dinner, and I really get to know his personality and other things that I might be pleasantly surprised, all of a sudden it becomes attractive. That happens.
Did you hear that?
That happens. So I'm kind of segueing away from the paying of the first date, but I think these are important things that support the first date. And if you're not too jazzed, if he proposes, hey, would you mind, let's split this 50-50, if the other characteristics are there, you may become a little flexible.
Can I actually throw something in
Sure.
there? As we're speaking about that, this just dinged in my head. To take the pressure off of the first date, like most people do, I've noticed a lot of people, even myself, I'm guilty of this in the past. I thought about this grandiose first date, have to take you to an expensive restaurant, have to take you on this kind of date.
Yes.
And setting the bar so high that
Yes.
anything I do afterwards has to be even equal to that.
That's a very
or
good
higher
point.
and higher and higher. But what happens is, I've noticed, is that the lady was so fixated on the dates versus the person. And so I wanted to bring to the fact that maybe even starting off, pulling back a little bit, maybe even a coffee date, just to get to know someone.
And kind of ease into things.
Yes.
And then, wow, there's a lot to look forward to after that, especially if you hit it off.
Exactly.
And, those are such key takeaways because we're all being judged. And I want to see characteristics, generosity, flexibility, and things like that. And then we're being judged on the things that maybe we don't really want to be judged on, like our economic status.
Absolutely.
And like you said, is this person really living this type of lifestyle? And is that really what I'm looking for? So,
What do you think?
first impressions count.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. And paying for the first date or not paying for the first date is definitely part of it.
What's your experience? Comment
We'd love to
below.
hear from you.
Absolutely. Please do so. Subscribe, comment, let her know, let me laugh at everything we write. That's it. All right. I'm MelodicMic.
I'm Anita K.
We'll see you next time.
It's not in a bad way, and in a good way. You really are.
As long as I'm not a side piece. I don't want to be anybody's side piece.
How do you know if you are? You're
No,
not?
you don't. That's
you
right.
You don't know that.
Oh,
You don't know.
side pieces. Oh, we recording?
What is a
This
side
video
piece,
about
by the
side
way? I'm just assuming I know what a side piece is.
Let's do it for the side pieces.